Hey, happy Saturday. Well, you know what day it is. Yep. It happens to be the 1st of April, not that that means anything. You know, that video on my other channel just uploaded less than 20 minutes ago, and I've already had somebody call me insensitive for joking about a fictitious person passing away. I'm insensitive. See, this right here, this is why that video is so hard every year. And that is why I have to make them so damn ridiculous, because if I don't, people jump down my throat and get mad at me. How dare you joke about that? How dare you? How dare you? It's like the pod people from damn Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Have you seen that movie? You got to see that movie. They come at you with a hive mind, man. How dare you? There are just people who are eager to find something to be righteously indignant about. They look for it all day long. They're like an ant lion. You know what an L-I-O-N, lion. You know what an ant lion is? I'm fascinated by them. You know, they don't have assholes. They don't. But a lot of people are assholes, but ant lions don't have assholes. They don't. They can't eliminate. Eventually, they turn into this little mayfly-looking thing, and they fly away, and they live for like a day, and they reproduce and lay some eggs that makes more ant lions, and it's a life cycle, you know. Anyway, ant lions. I was fascinated by ant lions when I was a kid. I used to love to catch them. They're these little bugs, and they have these pincers in the front, you know, in their little body, and they live in loose, dusty soil. And I used to love to catch them. And they make this funnel thing in the loose soil, and they get down at the bottom of that funnel. And whenever an ant or a small bug of some sort comes along and they fall down in the little funnel, you know, they go down in there and they're trying to climb their way out, the ant lion is down there, and they start flicking the sand away with their little pincers, and they snatch it, they grab it and they pull it down into the funnel and they eat it. That's an ant lion. You can catch them if you're patient and good. You take a tiny twig or something, and you just delicately touch the inside of the funnel, and they think it's a bug in there, and they come out and they start flicking the sand away, and then you tuck it down in there, get them to grab it. It's like fishing. They grab it and you can pull them up out of the funnel. And I used to love doing that. It was so fun. I grew up out in the middle of the woods. We didn't have cable, and there was no internet, and I had no neighbors and nobody to play with, so I spent a lot of time doing shit like that. I'm glad I did. I feel fortunate. I feel like I had a good childhood because I got to go out and play in the dirt and invent things, and I think it did a lot for my imagination, and I think most kids today are deprived of that, and I think it's to their detriment that they are. Anyway, a lot of people are like ant lions. They have their trap set, they got their funnel set, they're always sitting at the bottom of it. All right, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? I'm going to come after you. And that's like their whole life, because they don't have a personality, so they substitute that as a personality. Righteous indignation is their personality, and they just look for things to just rage about. They don't have to make sense. The things don't have to make sense. They just do it. Yeah. So somebody has already called me insensitive in all caps, and how dare you? You are so insensitive. I cannot believe you would joke about death. I can't joke about any damn thing. I can't. Those videos get harder to make every year, and they just get more and more absurd because you can't joke about anything anymore without somebody just getting tore out of frame over it. And I know a lot of comedians have expressed the same frustration, like, how, but see, the thing is too about it, it doesn't stop. It's not like these people get to a point where they go, okay, that's far enough. Even I'm being ridiculous at this point, being mad about that. No, they don't stop it. It just keeps going and going and going. And we've reached a point where it's just absolutely absurd. Those videos, I have to start around the 1st of the year in January, trying to come up with an idea for it that won't offend anybody. It is harder than you would think. I mean, imagine you had to come up with an idea, a prank, a joke that wouldn't offend anybody in the current year. Could you do it? Do you think you could? I thought I had achieved it this year. I thought, Nobody is going to take this seriously. It is obviously not real. It is absurd. I didn't like it, honestly. I thought it was stupid, but it was all I could come up with. And especially with everything else going on in my life for the last month, you know, my day job going away and the ad revenue. Like, I wasn't even in the mood to do it. Like, I don't know what I'm going to, God, I mean, I had a couple of ideas, but I didn't even start on it until, I didn't start actually getting video of anything until like 2 weeks ago. I went and scoped out the place, and then I had to, you know, go back and do, you know, get video of it. I was just not, I really wasn't into it this year at all, because I just got so much going on. I started to not even do one, and I thought, no, you got to do it. Come on. Plus, it might be a nice distraction. Just go ahead and do it. You know, it's okay. Once you sit down and start putting it all together, and it'll be all right. You'll get into it. And I did kind of get into it once I started, you know, actually working on it. But I put it off about as long as I could. I didn't finish up the final video until about 3 days ago. And normally I have it ready a couple of weeks in advance, but not this year. No. So hopefully nobody else will get upset. Nobody else seemed to be upset. It was just that one little precious person so far. It's an antlion. It's a human antlion sitting in their trap waiting to be upset. And I don't understand this living that way. What kind of life is that? I mean, they've got to be miserable. What? I don't know. And they get upset on behalf of other people. That always cracks me up. Like, did you check with these people to see if they needed your help? I don't know how I would feel about somebody getting upset on my behalf. Like, if it's something I want to be upset about, I'll be upset. I don't need you to decide that. Why don't you shut the hell up and go find something productive to do? Go build something. Go make something. Learn a new skill. Leave something on this planet that will have a lasting impact other than your vapid bitching. That's not going to do shit for anybody. I'm sorry, it just irritates me to no end. Because it makes my 1st of April video way harder than it should be. I mean, like, why can't, what? Yeah, think about it. What could you joke about that wouldn't upset somebody in 2023? Not much, I can tell you. You can't even joke about a non-existent person passing away. Even that is a problem. How dare you joke about death? A lot of jokes deal with death. And up until now, it wasn't a problem that I'm aware of. But it is now. Holy shit. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Damn video hadn't even been up 20 minutes, and somebody is already getting just flustered over it. Woo! 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 Clutching my pearls. How could you joke about that? What do you want me to joke about, bitch? Huh? What do you want me to joke about? I'm going to joke about something. Especially now that I know it bothers you, I'm going to do it again. I'll kill 20 non-existent people next year. I don't know. No, I wouldn't do that, but I'm tempted to. I'll have them die in a freak accident involving an Easter basket and I don't know, cotton balls or something. And I'll make it sound serious. I'll make it sound real. That's one thing I learned working at Errands. You can sell things to a lot of people as long as you're serious about it and you talk like you actually know what you're talking about. They'll believe whatever you say. If you have a bit of authority in your voice, they will believe whatever you say. It's a magic power that you can develop. I'm not going to become a cult leader or anything like that, although that's too much work. I wouldn't want to be a cult leader. It's actually a lot of work to be a cult leader. It is. I mean, it's like a full-time job. It's like 7 days a week. I'm not interested in that. No, I don't have time for that. Plus, I don't want to be around people that much. I couldn't be a cult leader unless all of my cult members were extreme loners like me and, you know, didn't really want to see me very much. Could I just email them my tirades? Could I just send them out like a group text or something? Do I have to actually talk to these people a lot? I'm out. No, I'm not interested in that. I'm sorry, this video is all over the place. Yeah, I wanted to tell you, my son, I didn't tell him that anybody said he was handsome because I know how he reacts to that. It's like it pisses him off to hear that for some reason. But I did tell him that y'all liked him and said he was smart and funny and definitely needs to be a lawyer, and he was right. He really wanted to hear he was right. Technically, he was right. I guess I was trying to find a way to get out of paying him. Like, damn it, you got $20. That's what I was going to give him. You got your $20. What does it matter where it came from? He got me on a technicality, I know. So he got it. We went to Academy. He got his thing. Everything's fine. But then his brother found out. So he told his brother, "Hey, look what I got. How did you get that? That thing is like $35, $36. You said you weren't going to give him any money. You said you were going to give him like $5." So then he wanted to know where his money was. Okay, well, if he gets that money, then I should definitely get some money because I did way more work than he did. And he did. He legitimately did. My older son did. He had to do some heavy lifting and other stuff. He's tall and has these long arms. And there were these giant bushes. And he had to use the electric hedge trimmers. And he did more work than his brother did. He did. So I told him I would pay him. What did I forget now what I said. It's like a store credit. Like, I don't have the cash on me right now, but, you know. So I gave his brother 20. I think I told him I would give him 30. Because he did do a lot more, so. That seemed to be a fair amount, so. I owe him the money. Anyway, I told him, though, you're always drinking my Pepsi, so I kind of feel like we're even. Because I think you've easily consumed $30 worth of Pepsi, you know, that I paid for and purchased. But like, yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with this deal. They both need to be lawyers, because he was pointing out, but that consumption has nothing to do with this transaction. You can't start bringing in other things, because if you start doing that, it's a slippery slope. I could also point out that I've done this and that, and you didn't pay me to do that. But that's part of being in a household, I would say. But it's not part of this transaction. You said you were going to pay me for this transaction based on the amount of work done. If Grandpa didn't pay, as my brother said, he's not the one who paid us, your stepmom paid us. And she stated it was not for the work done, it was for love. They team up on me. I can't win. So I had to go to the post office. I'm done at the post office, and I'm going back to Aldi. Swanee, I go there every day. I'm going to go back again. I'm going to go to Aldi. And it's a really gross day. We have that system coming through that they had in like Arkansas and stuff with the tornadoes. So far, all it is, it's windy and it gets really gusty sometimes, and rain, and a little bit of rain. Not a lot. It's just kind of sprinkling, you know. Train tracks. Oh, it held up. Nice. So yeah, so far it's not too bad. It's just kind of gross outside. It's not cold. It's 64 degrees. But not really a day I want to get out and do anything much. So I'm gonna go run this little errand, and then I'm gonna go home and play Wordscapes. Oh, the front of that car is all bashed all to shit. Yikes. It's like, damn. And I'm gonna go home and play Wordscapes. I may go ahead and make a video doing my Easter wreath, but it won't. If I do it, I won't publish it until tomorrow. You know, I just on the 1st of April, I just do the one video, and then the next day I just go back to normal. I never mention it again. It's just like, and so many people are confused. Like, wait a minute, what about yesterday's video? What is this? Especially if I say I'm not going to be making videos anymore. Like, why? I thought she wasn't making videos anymore. It amazes me how many people don't watch the whole video and are that gullible. Like, it amazes me every year. How did you not know that was not real? I mean, how could you watch that video and think I was being serious? Come on, you have to know with this one. I've already had several people, though, maybe they hadn't watched the whole thing, say, "Oh, Mary, this doesn't sound like a good idea. I think you just need to sell that property. Honey, you can't afford to fix all that up." Like, I know that. It's not mine. It's not real. It is abandoned, though. It is. The whole area is just, there are just houses everywhere that are just abandoned. I don't know, I don't understand what's going on with it. Like, there's this big property and they just left it. It's nuts. I'm surprised nobody's done anything with it, but it's just sitting there empty. I don't know. So I thought it would be funny to make a video out there. So I just went out there with my older son and I just ad-libbed some shit, and yeah, I just made it up as I traveled through there and put it all together. So, but I don't know. I hate I don't know that I like this timeline that we live in. I'm not fond of this series of our show. I think we're into the show should have ended years ago, and we're into seasons now where they've run out of ideas and they're just making shit up. Do you feel like that's kind of the case? I feel like we are in a show and they've just run out of ideas and they're just throwing random shit out there just to put episodes out. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. I maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm lazy. I just can't bring myself to invest a lot of energy in being mad about stuff or being upset over something somebody said. I don't care. I wouldn't care if you did a comedy special and it was an hour long and all you did was talk shit about me for an hour. I really wouldn't care. Like, okay, whatever. I mean, yeah, all right. Shit, I'd probably think some of it was funny. Like, you got a point there. That is true. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have better things to do than to get mad about stuff that just has no impact on my life. I don't understand people who do it. I really don't. I think it's because a lot of people are just like, they have no direction. They have no goals. They have no ambitions. They're listless. It's like they're just kind of drifting through life and they want to find something to hold on to. And these are people who often get recruited into cults. These are people that abusive groups look for, as people who are just rudderless. They're just kind of floating and they want to belong to something. They just don't really have anything. And I saw a lot of this in the church. And that is why the members of the church would hang out around the Navy bases. The bigger churches were near Navy bases. And they would recruit young men, coming in. They don't really know anybody. They're young. They're impressionable. A lot of them are naive. They've never been away from wherever they grew up. And they feel uncertain. And, everything is new and unfamiliar. And then these nice people come in. Hey, what's your name? Would you like to come hang out? We have services, on Wednesday nights and twice on Sundays, and we do all kinds of fun things. And we even have people that can come pick you up if you don't have a car, and we'll feed you. We have dinner. You can come eat with us. We have fun movie nights. And for a lot of young people, that's very appealing. Like, especially if they have a religious background and all, it's like, yeah, that would be nice. And my parents would be really glad to hear that I haven't fallen in with a bunch of hooligans or anything. And they would be happy to hear that I was going to church. That would make them happy, especially if you have a young person that's eager to please their parents. So it's very easy to recruit people into a group. It's shockingly easy to do. And I feel bad for young people today, because I think a lot of young people just feel like their life just doesn't really have meaning. And I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. The answer is not to just go around raging all day. That's not going to give your life any meaning. It's not going to make any kind of impact on the world. If that's what you do, all you're going to do is turn people off and make people just ignore. People are going to ignore you, and then you're going to rage that no one pays attention to you. It's a vicious cycle. And I've talked a little bit about this before, but if you feel like your life has no meaning, most people who come along and try to give your life meaning don't have good intentions, from my experience. Maybe they do. I imagine a lot of them don't. That's how you end up in abusive relationships. That's how you end up in just bad situations in general. You have to figure out what is important to you. And I guess to a lot of people, what's important to them is just being pissed off about whatever they saw or heard today. And that gives them some sort of meaning, but I don't imagine it's very fulfilling long term. I would say start with your hobbies, if nothing else. What do you enjoy doing? Because being angry all day long, have you ever been around somebody who's just mad all the time? it's like they're just chronically pissed off about something. They're hard to be around. I mean, it's very stressful to be around people like that. So focus on what makes you happy. What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy anything? Like, well, I enjoy being outside in nature. Okay, that's good. That's a good thing. You could study horticulture. You could learn about plants, animals. You could study bugs. I mean, my younger son he's really interested in bugs. He likes learning about bugs. He even thought about going into entomology when he gets older. He loves to learn about bugs and their environments and how they live and how they adapt to things and how they interact with other bugs. And it's just neat. So you could think about things that you enjoy and try to see if you can find a way to kind of turn that into something that gives your life meaning. You know, I don't know, whatever it is for you. I mean, if you like reading, you could join a book club. You could meet some people. And you never know where that could lead. I mean, you could meet people and make lifelong friends. You could learn about a job that's, you know, hey, I work at this place and we could really use somebody like you. You know, you have good critical thinking skills. You have a unique perspective on things. We could use somebody like you. It could lead your life off on a path that you never expected. But to sit around being mad all day about something you saw on the internet, that I just don't see that really going anywhere. I mean, I guess it could. You could start a YouTube channel and complain, because that's a lot of what I do. I'm trying to help, damn it, because I feel bad for all these young people. And I know a lot of them see me as old, which is funny, because like, honey. Of course, I remember, I wasn't really like that, because I grew up around a lot of older people. I spent most of my childhood around older people. So I would never see being old as a bad thing. I saw the older people as, you know, wow, they got shit figured out. I was always impressed. Like, how do they just know how to do that? That is so cool. Like, I'd watch my parents do stuff. My mom would be doing, like, she had an adding machine, and she could just go 100 miles an hour on that little electric adding machine. And I was just fascinated. Like, how does she do that? Wow, she's so fast. And I don't know, just watching them do just everyday things that they probably never even thought about, it was just fascinating to me. So I never saw being old as something bad, or, you know, oh, you know, what do you know? You're stupid. Well, I imagine they probably know a hell of a lot more than you do. They've been around longer. They've had time to learn more, and hopefully they've gained some wisdom from their experience. So it's just arrogance on your part to think that you know more than they do because you're younger than them, which makes no sense. Anyway, I know you think you have a fresh perspective on things. Every generation thinks that. And in some ways you do, but in other ways you don't, because you are naive and you don't know it. There's a whole lot you haven't experienced. There's a whole lot you really don't know, but you don't know that you don't know it. You have the Dunning-Kruger effect. You don't know what you don't know, and it gives you a sense of confidence that you haven't really earned and you don't really deserve. No offense, tough love, but you don't, because you really just don't know any better yet. You are young. You are a young person, and there's nothing wrong with that. We were all a young person at some point. I was probably in my mid-20s when it finally started to occur to me, you know what? I don't know everything. There's a hell of a lot I don't know. And you know what? My parents were right. There were a lot of things that I used to roll my eyes like, whatever. And I have told both of my parents, you know, on different occasions, you know what? You told me this and this when I was younger, and I didn't believe you, but you were right. You were absolutely right. And I should have listened to you, but I had to learn it for myself. Yeah. I don't know how the hell I got off on that, but it was just funny to me. It's just funny, like, damn, this video just went up and somebody is already upset. Everyone I have ever made has upset at least a few people. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. I can dress up as Captain Condom and run down a lonely country road, dance in a little covered bridge, and someone will still get offended by it. You can't win, and I know you can't win, honey. I know that. I I'm thinking about these people. Like, I just feel sorry for you. This is how you choose to spend your time. You spend your time being mad about things that objectively just don't matter and aren't worth getting mad about because they're meant to be ridiculous, and yet you're still mad. That sounds like a you problem to me, and I think you need to do some self-reflection and try to figure out a better course for your future, because this is not a feasible path for you. I really don't think it is. So anyway, I'm going to go run my errands and do my stuff. It's actually kind of nice right now. The wind has died down. It's not raining. The clouds are definitely moving fast overhead. So there's still a good amount of wind up there because they are really moving. But yeah, I'm going to get back home and do my wordscapes. And I might do my Easter wreath today. But if I do, I'm not going to upload it today. I'll just save it for tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching and for being here. Happy 1st of April! April Fools! I don't have an April Fool's video for y'all because I just talk to y'all. Yeah. Thank you for all the nice things you said about my son. I know he was happy to hear it because he's kind of he's selectively bashful. Sometimes he's bashful. I told him some of the nice things that y'all said, and he said, "Oh, I don't know about that." Kind of aw shucks, like, "Oh, I don't know about that." I said, "Well, enough people said it that I think you have to believe it, because it's not your mom saying it. I will let you read the comments myself. You can see what they said." "Oh, I don't know." I said, you should pay a visit more often." "Well, I don't know." It made his day, though. It really tickled him to hear that. So thank you. I appreciate it, and he appreciated it too, but he won't ever say that. So happy Saturday to you. And I am looking forward to hearing about that job next week. And all I know is I'm supposed to hear back from them one day next week. I don't know when, but I don't want to get too excited because it's not a done deal at this point. But I'm definitely going to go for it. I hope to get together with them this week and find out more. So I'll let you know as soon as I find out anything. But it's very exciting. It's done a whole lot for my mood. I feel a tremendous sense of relief, especially since I still haven't heard from Google, and the ad revenue thing is still abysmal. So yeah, this is a huge relief to me. So I'm really hoping it will work out. I don't want to get overly excited yet because like I say, it's not completely done, but yeah, I'm very excited. So happy Saturday again. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I will see you again soon.